Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to the 616 Podcast, your main timeline for all things MCU and pop culture. I'm Lex.
And I'm Rob.
There it is. What's going on, guys? We got a big day today. Invincible news, Spider-Man brand new day, potential set leaks and cast, and James Gunn possibly getting fired from the DCEU. Not sure what in the world is going on down there, but it's going to be a huge one. We're going to start off with a nice little icebreaker trivia. By the way, we do have Sergio here in the background. Sergio, say what's up.
So yeah, like Lex said, we're gonna be doing a trivia as a little icebreaker. Like, what are we doing? What do you have in mind?
I'm thinking a little bit of a hot take, maybe just to start it off. Maybe top threes, maybe top tens. What do you think?
No, I mean that works. That works. Top threes, top tens.
Okay. So I'm gonna start off. You know what? In honor of the MCU, and obviously we're talking about the latest MCU review, or sorry, MCU release. We'll cut this out. Give me a sec. Reset. In honor of the last... Oh, man.
Take your time, man. Take your time.
In honor of the latest MCU release, Fantastic Four, which, by the way, we both loved. We want to go see it at the fan event. Rob, how'd you like it?
I loved it. No, I thought it was a great movie. It felt really good to see Fantastic Four come back to the big screen, and honestly, with that delivery, which Pedro Pascal and all of them, man, it was beautiful. I loved it.
Absolutely. So we're gonna start off with 3 things that you disliked about the Fantastic Four and 3 things that you liked or loved the Fantastic Four. You want to go first, or I can go first?
Let's do it. You go first.
Alrighty, 3 things. So I'll start off with my likes. We'll start off on the positives. Obviously, Pedro Pascal's Reed Richards is possibly the most comic accurate Reed Richards that we've ever had. I'm a huge Fantastic Four fan, arguably my favorite team in the Marvel franchise, both comics and media.
Marvel's first family.
That's right, Marvel's first family, and did they nail that? By the way, absolutely nailed that. Vanessa Kirby's performance out of the park, but we'll talk about that later. I will say Pedro Pascal's performance gave me so much. Kind of reminded me a lot of that Mark Waid run of the Fantastic Four. I have the omnibus book here to back. Phenomenal. That'd be my 1. Number 2, Sue Storm. Sue Storm being the motherly figure, arguably lots of times considered the leader of the Fantastic Four family. And man, did she show that in this movie. Unbelievable. The scene where she walked out of the Baxter building and she went to go talk to everybody and introduced Franklin to the entire crowd that, by the way, wanted to behead the lady. You know what I mean? They wanted that baby gone. Unbelievable. Just the cojones that took from Sue, and just being that leader that they needed in that time. Reed Richards even was like, oh, goddamn. But yeah, that'd be my second one. And my number 3, we finally got a comic accurate Galactus. Obviously, we had that ugly cloud in the Fantastic Four 2000s ones. Those, we don't talk about those, but we finally got a comic accurate Galactus. And man, was he a menace. A lot of people didn't like him. A lot of people think that he could have done a lot more. I do agree in certain parts, but he was phenomenal. Those are my top 3s. And now, those are my likes. Now, my top 3 dislikes. I wish that we got to see a little more of rapport between Johnny and Ben. I think that we could have had a lot more of that, kind of that mean friendship that they got going on. A lot of banter going on between them two in the comics and a lot of other media. We didn't get that much. We got a little bit of it. There was a lot of cut scenes from what I've heard. We didn't get too much of that, and I really, really wish we did, because it really would have kind of maybe solidified the family aspect a little bit more. My number 2 for this would be dislikes. Would be, I wish that we would have got to see a little bit more of Silver Surfer. I think we had a lot of missing scenes with the Silver Surfer. I think she showed up in the beginning with the Galactus ship, and then after that, it was just kind of she destroyed the things that we're going to use to teleport Earth to another location, and then that was really about it. And obviously the spoiler alert, the ending scene with Galactus, that she kind of just pushed him through the portal, which I thought Johnny was going to do that. That was insane, but wish we would have seen more. I wish we would have seen a little bit more. She had a lot more to do, especially the comic that they were adapting. She had a lot more to do in the story than what they put on. But it's an adaptation. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. And then I think my number 1 thing that I disliked about this movie was the fact that we didn't get to see Reed Richards be this this elastic, unbelievably stretchy
Mm,
man that we are used to. You know, I think that
that's true. That is
the
true.
the extent to what he was stretched at when Galactus had him and was stretching him was a joke in
Pause.
terms
Yeah.
of what Reed Richards is able to stretch to. That was an absolute. It was a joke, and I was upset. I won't lie to you. I looked at my girlfriend to my right, and I was like, "That's it. Like that's all you can stretch to." I mean, it was compared to Grufford's performance in the 2000s, that Fantastic Four
Mm.
compared to comics, obviously. I mean, it was night and day difference from what he stretched. But yeah, those are my top three likes and dislikes. What about you, Rob?
So starting off with the likes, I'm gonna focus on the other two of the members of the Fantastic Four that
Mm-hmm.
you didn't talk about, which was Joseph Quinn's portrayal of the Human Torch. I'm gonna be honest, a huge fan of Joseph Quinn.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people were skeptical when uh they were saying that he wasn't going to be, a womanizer, or just the stuff that you saw obviously in Chris Evans' portrayal, and then stuff that you see in the comics.
Right.
I for one didn't think it was going to be a big deal, but I mean, again, I wanted to see what we were going to see on the big screen, and honestly, didn't really make much of a difference. Like, he played that character really well. I loved it. I loved his character. And
Agreed.
then same thing with Eben Moss. Great thing.
Underrated.
And yeah, and I've talked to you about this before too.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing things that are naturally, comic, or look cool in animation, I get skeptical seeing it live action. Whether it's like flying, or like obviously like these FX lasers, stuff like that.
Right.
So seeing how the thing was gonna look on the big screen was something that I was skeptical in. And once I saw the trailer, I knew it was
Yeah.
going to be good.
Yeah.
I think
That
even like
eyebrow. Mm-hmm.
the movement too. You hear like the rocks clink, like, you know what I mean.
You feel that oomph
I
to his
loved it.
step.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean,
Agreed.
Evan Moss, same thing. His character was really good in that movie.
Mm.
And last, what I liked was, I mean, I think you said it too, Vanessa Kirby's Sue Storm.
Yeah.
Kind of almost like the silent leader.
Mm-hmm.
And then when it came down to needing to be the leader, she spoke up.
Yeah.
We saw it when
1v1 Galactus, by the
um,
way.
yeah, literally. And then when Julia Garner's Silver Surfer came, uh, Pedro Pascal, or sorry, Mr. Fantastic was lost for words, couldn't speak, and the one that did speak was,
Mm-hmm.
Vanessa Kirby Sue Storm.
That's right.
When what she say? Are you the leaders of this world, or what is it? Something like
We
that.
are, yeah. Are you the defenders of this
Yeah.
world or
So
protectors? She said, "We are."
no hesitation from her. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I thought that was really cool.
And puffed her chest. It was
Dislikes.
insane. You saw
Oh yeah,
Reed's face in the back. He
yeah,
was like, "Huh? We are?"
yeah.
Hilarious. I love that part.
Dislikes. Um, I didn't have too much. I mean, honestly, I'll probably be nitpicking, because not that the movie was
That's fine.
perfect, but I mean, you were, it was just so much to enjoy. You didn't really have much. Um, I think first and foremost, it didn't ruin the movie to me, but I told you when it came out, the kind of the time jumps or the time skips,
Sure. Yeah.
were a little wonky. It didn't ruin the movie for me, but it was just kind of a
Yeah.
little weird. Um, So I mean, it was just that, and then the second would be again a nitpick was the after credit scene. Spoiler to anybody who hasn't seen it. But Doctor Doom's, I just I think it's a personal thing. I wanted more.
Yeah.
I wanted more, especially after Thunderbolts, and you just see the, again, spoiler alert,
Mm-hmm.
in the after credit scene, the ship arriving on their 616 um universe. I wanted to know how and why.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But to their credit, that was a great after credit scene. It made you want more, and I mean, I guess
Yeah.
that's the point, right? It
Mm-hmm.
made you want more. um, and last but not least, again, another nitpick. Paul Walter Hauser's Mole Man. I wanted to see
Yeah.
more.
Yeah.
I just wanted to see more. I love him as an actor. So when they cast him as Mole Man, I just knew it was a
Such a
perfect
great
role
casting
for him.
choice, by the way. So cool.
Yeah, yeah. Like, let's take a moment.
Did you see the deleted scene, by the way?
Every. I did not.
Unbelievable. It was a kind of an interaction between her and Sue Storm, or not, sorry, him
Mm,
and Sue Storm. It was it's such a cool. I don't know why they cut things out. They cut so much out of that movie. I don't know why. I'm not sure if it was budget thing. I'm not sure if it was like the time. I don't know what it was, but
mm.
such a great scene.
no, I haven't seen it. But no, yeah, I mean, those are my top 3 likes and dislikes for that movie. Phenomenal movie. You know,
Hmm.
I mean, it was good. It was a good
Let's rate
movie.
it out of 10. Let's give it a rating. What do you rate it out of 10?
I think I think I give it an 8.5. Right? If I remember correctly, I think I give it an eight and a
Yes.
half.
Yeah, you were a little higher on Superman. Yeah.
I was. Yeah, I was.
No, I don't blame you. I don't blame you. Superman was a great movie. You know, I mean, I'm not a DC guy, but I can
Hmm.
confidently say I think that well, I watched Superman again. I watched it with my girlfriend, and I watched
Hmm.
Fantastic Four again. Also watched it with my girlfriend. I
Hmm.
think on a second rewatch, Fantastic Four just it holds up. Not to say that Superman
Hmm.
does it, but obviously I'm not the biggest DC fan, and I have just such a fond place in my heart for Fantastic Four as a family and as characters that I
That's
think that
fair.
just Fantastic Four just held up a lot better for me. And I have my rating actually went up by like 5, like 0.5. I mean, I was at I think I was at like a 9, right? Eight point
Oh yeah,
nine.
you were like at a 9.
I honestly got it was close to a 10 now, just because of how
Mm.
accurate that Reed Richards and Sue and Ben and Johnny. Again, I wish we would have seen a little bit more of the rapport between Johnny and Ben, but man, that movie just holds up for me. I do agree with you with the post credit scene. I feel like we should have gotten a little more, especially because like we talked about in the last episode, we we have a lot to set up for Doomsday, and I wish we would have gotten a
Mm.
little bit more, just to maybe at least reveal his face, or obviously we got the little
Right.
tease when they were the Future Foundation, when everybody was sitting there and everybody was there and talking. Obviously, we got a pan when the
Mm.
camera was panning. We saw Latveria and nobody was on his seat. So,
That's right. That's right.
which leads me into my next topic here:
Hmm.
Doomsday theories. Obviously, we got a lot of theories ourselves. We've been cooking up some
Yeah.
theories between me and you pretty frequently. Even before we started this,
Right.
obviously we started this as a
Oh
passion
yeah.
project. We expect nothing to come from this, but we're having a blast just even talking about anything Marvel and theories and everything that we usually do.
That's right.
With that being said, what is your number one Doomsday theory, and do you believe that Robert Downey Jr. is going to be the real Doom, or do you think he's going to be a red herring?
I think it's hard to answer,
Mhm.
just because of the theories that we have. You know what I mean? When we say Robert Downey Jr.'s, Doomsday, it's like, which Robert Downey Jr. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Is it from the 616, or is it from I can't remember what the Fantastic Four's universe was. You know what I mean?
1610.
1610.
Oh no
So I
no
mean,
sorry no no
we can
no.
get
I think
into
it was
it.
818. I forget. No 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 sorry.
Uh,
I'm confusing the Ultimate Universe. F4. Hang on. It was 828, not 818. 828. That was the universe name.
That's
828.
right. That's right. That's right. I mean, we can get into it because I mean that question in itself is bringing up most of our theories that we have. You know what I mean? I think the most popular one that we had was, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. It I don't want to butcher it, but the Doomsday.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, the Doomsday. The Doom from the 828 universe.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that version of Tony Stark isn't Tony Stark, and that's I'm sorry, Victor Von Doom.
Yeah.
And that the 616 Tony Stark ended up being, you know, was it adopted? And
Right.
he
Right.
didn't
Right.
end up
Okay.
being
Yeah.
Victor Von
Yeah.
Doom.
So you're
And
referring to
so
the scene in
that,
Endgame, right? The where
yeah,
Howard
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So I think that's between me and you the most popular, the one that we have, and kind of the one that
Yeah.
it makes sense. And that's why I was kind of upset about the after credit scene in Fantastic Four, because now it's like,
Mm-hmm.
obviously we don't know. And now I'm like nervous that it's going to take up a good amount of Doomsday,
Yeah.
for them to kind of
They
connect
have to
those dots.
establish him. Yeah, they have to
Yeah.
establish him as a villain and as a threat that he's supposed to be, which is
So,
why which is why I wish we would have gotten a little bit more from the Fantastic Four post credit scene. But
mhm,
yeah, I mean, no, those are. I mean, obviously that's the most popular theory I think that me and you have. I think
mhm,
that my most wanted theory, I guess, the one that I guess won, and this is probably how we're gonna connect it and how we're gonna connect the dots. That we'll let the
mhm,
Feige brothers figure that one out, and the Russo brothers, or
for
not
sure.
Feige brothers, so let the Feige and Russo brothers figure that out.
Yeah.
But my I guess my favorite and the most fun that I've had with the theory was the one where I told you obviously that the universe that Galactus got sent to and that the Silver Surfer got sent to was maybe Doom's universe, and the Fantastic Four universe, 818, we don't have an established Doom yet. I think that there's nobody that is the I guess the ruler of Latveria at the moment. I think Latveria is just maybe it's like an empty throne. So maybe that's why we didn't see anybody on that chair sitting there when the camera was panning with the Fantastic Four or the Future Foundation rather. I think that Galactus was sent to his universe, and obviously, maybe during that battle that Silver Surfer and Galactus were having, maybe Galactus ended up devouring his Earth, and Victor Von Doom, being the smart tech guy and intelligent scientist and sorcerer that he is, maybe he found a way to time travel. Maybe picked up on some signals that Reed Richards was leaving behind, because obviously he was reaching out. As we saw it in the trailer too, which they didn't talk about. Remember when which is a part that didn't even appear in the movie, when there was a part in the trailers where he said, I reached out to space or something like that, and they reached back out or something, and they heard me or something, something along those lines, and we never heard that. We didn't see that in the movie. Maybe I think with the DVD that recently released, I think today actually, I think maybe we'll see those parts in the deleted scenes, but we didn't get to see that specific part in the movie. So which also kind of like further reinforces my kind of theory, where I was like, maybe that Galactus got sent to this universe, destroyed his universe, ate his universe, whatever you want to say, ate his universe. In the process, burned his face, gave him that disfigured face that obviously we don't know of, or maybe he already had the disfigured face. Maybe he was that just that universe's Dooms. Started finding out about the incursions, blah blah blah. Ends up making his way towards 616 universe, or sorry, to 818 universe. Finds Franklin, sees that he has to fix. He's the only person, because Doom's whole thing is like, I'm the only one that can do anything. I'm the one. Nobody has like the wherewithal. Nobody has the strength and the cojones to do anything. So I have to be the one to do it, and I'm the only one that can do it correctly. He's like this kind of like puts himself on his pedestal above everybody else. He talks about himself in the third person, right? So Doom is just this egotistical, I can do it, you can't kind of person. You don't have the balls to do it kind of thing. So he goes to 818, sees Franklin, obviously feels his powers, or maybe he already knew about the powers because, again, Reed, and it's not in the picture. He can see how they do that. Who knows? We'll brainstorm about that later. But point is that he knows that Franklin Richards is the key and is what he needs, the reality warping, world building kid that he needs to save the world or save the universes from incursions. Runs away with Franklin Richards to 616, which is why we see that ship at the end of Thunderbolts heading towards the 616 Earth, and Thunderbolts obviously talk about and see that on the big broadcast, and you see Sentry, you see Red Guardian, all of the new Avengers with the Z. And that was a pretty cool post-credit scene with Thunderbolts, by the way. And then boom, they crash on Earth, and then Fantastic Four from 818 go and like, hey, like, where's my kid? This guy took my kid. What was it, dude? What was it that we said? I forget what we said that just kind of left us both like jaws on the floor, where I was like, hang on, I'm cooking. It was something along the lines of...
Keep going.
Yeah, so it was something along the lines of where obviously the Doom that took Franklin Richards would have to look like Robert Downey Jr.'s Tony Stark.
Oh,
it would have to look like Robert Downey Jr. Yeah, so obviously with 616 universe commemorating their Tony Stark, the one that quite literally saved the world and half of the population being blipped again, they made a statue of him. So 818 Fantastic Four crash land onto the 616, right? Following hot in the tail of Victor Von Doom, right? Maybe during this, maybe during the process of Doom trying to take Franklin Richards, maybe they get into like a little battle, a fight, a quick fight scene or something, maybe before at the beginning of Doomsday, showing how Doom ended up on 616, and so how the Fantastic Four ended up on 616. And so maybe during that process they knock his mask off or something, and or maybe even, obviously we saw Franklin Richards touching Victor Von Doom's mask. Maybe it was, him touching his... Actually, no, he was touching his face because his mask was off. So maybe during that, he turns around, looks at Vanessa, and that's when Reed Richards comes into the thing, because they have, like... Baxter Building security is crazy. So obviously he teleported in there. We hear the teleportation sound from the TVA in that scene as well. He teleports in there. He turns around. They see his face. It's Robert Downey Jr., right? But it's Victor Von Doom. They don't know an Iron Man. They don't have an Iron Man in that universe because obviously they're the only universe's superheroes in that timeline and in that multiverse. 818, they're the only heroes. We know this. So when they crashed on 616, and they see that statue that Earth 616 made of Tony Stark, and Thunderbolts maybe go and confront them like, who are you guys? What are you guys doing here? Blah blah blah. Well, where'd you guys come from? Like, well, somebody took our son. Blah blah blah. Franklin Richards. Blah blah blah. They took our son Franklin. Where is he? And they turn around and they see a statue of Iron Man, Robert Downey Jr.'s Iron Man, and it's to them, to Fantastic Four, it's Victor Von Doom, and they say him. He took it. That's him. You sons of bitches are working with him, or something like that. You know what I mean? And then that's how we end up kind of getting that conflict where eventually ends up building to Avengers vs. X-Men or something. But we get that original like holy crap moment, and like, oh my god, like, what do you mean? Like, this is Iron Man. What are you talking about? Like Iron Man. This guy's been dead for I don't know how long this is gonna take place after Endgame, but this guy's been dead for X amount of time. Like, what are you talking about? You know what I mean? And then boom, we kind of just build from there. That for me would be absolute cinema. I kind of danced around the point a lot, but my bad. I was trying to remember it as I went. But that would be absolute cinema. That is my favorite theory. That is my head canon at the moment, and it's just one of those moments that people would be like, "Oh my god, like this is this is crazy," and it'd be such a cool moment, man.
I think I even liked when we were talking about this. You even said when they land there and they're confronting it, they say the play like, what are you talking about? Like that's Tony Stark, that's Iron Man, and they respond with like, yes, the man in the iron mask.
Yes.
Like, Doom.
Yeah.
Like, and I remember that I think that was like the line.
That was exactly. Yeah,
like,
the man in the iron mask. Yeah, exactly. That's what we said. Because he was like, that man, that's the man that took our son. And he's like, who? Like Iron Man? He's like, yes, the man in the iron mask or something like that. And then so they're like, wait, it's like, obviously, I think they know about, well, do they know about the multiverse?
I don't.
I think the only person that does is Doctor Strange. Does he? I think Doctor Strange, obviously all the sorcerers, Doctor Strange, I think. Well, I mean, obviously, they're not from multiverse though.
Actually, no. Yeah,
no, but they did go through the whole time traveling thing. Going back to but that's more so like time travel. Would that really be considered multiverse?
No, that's why I kind of like
I guess
redacted what I said because
I guess if people, obviously Peter Parker would know, and maybe that's how Peter Parker starts to kind of like put pieces together. Like, wait a minute, is this my Iron? Is this my Iron Man? Is this Tony Stark? Or you know what I mean? Kind of goes in searching for himself, and then that's how they have that scene. You know what I mean?
At the same time, they could know. You know what I mean? Honestly, they might not know like the full extent of what it is. They might know like surface level.
Oh, also, sorry to cut you off, but before I forget this, at the end of the Marvels, I'm not sure if you saw the Marvels. I don't blame you if you didn't. But at the end of the Marvels, Beast makes an appearance. Remember, Monica Rambeau ends up on a different timeline. She ends up on the X-Men universe with it. So maybe, so obviously, there's been leaks of Beast already going to be having scenes with a couple characters already. So maybe he's the one that explains like the multiversal travel stuff. Again, it all just depends on how they get there. Or maybe even Reed Richards. I mean, hell, they're coming from 818. Maybe they're the ones that can explain everything. You know what I mean? Krasinski explains it to Krasinski's Reed Richards explained it to Doctor Strange. Doctor Strange probably could be the same person that explains it to everybody, or they just see it when it happened. When the incursions start happening, obviously they're gonna start to realize and everything. But yeah, that was my number one and the most fun that I've had with the theory that we kind of brainstormed, and we were just kind of like, oh my god, we're cooking. We are cooking.
No, that was like, that was probably our number one. I know we had some other fun ones too, where it was like, was he dream walking? Like, did he just take over the body of the Tony Stark? Obviously that we saw in Endgame, and like that defaced quote unquote was obviously just the aftermath of Tony Stark having the Infinity Stones and stuff like that, and like that's how what I mean. That was another one that we put out there.
True. Yeah. That'd be, the dream walking one is fun. That one's fun too. I think, and it makes sense because obviously we've seen dream walking before. Victor Von Doom is a sorcerer, arguably sometimes even a better sorcerer than than Stephen Strange and some iterations. We know that he dabbles in the dark arts, so it's not out of the park that we get to see him maybe dream walk or something, or maybe it's or some sorts, or maybe I think also in that theory we also threw in that obviously with the dream walking, which would make sense, and it would be perfect for Robert Downey Jr.'s character to come back later on in the movie, probably maybe during
Mhm.
like Act 3 or something as Invincible Iron Man, or as any kind of Iron Man variant that we honestly want to throw out there, because obviously when you're dreamwalking, you're in another person's body. So Victor Von Doom can still be in his respective universe or somewhere in the 616. Maybe he gets a hold of the Darkhold, but I know the Darkhold was destroyed, actually, wasn't it? In Multiverse of Madness, was it not destroyed?
I believe.
There's
Yeah, I
multi.
believe
I mean,
so.
yeah, I think I don't know if that's one of those things that's only in one universe. I don't know if that's multiversal, like America Chavez. You know, there's only one American Chavez.
Mhm.
I don't know if that's the
Yeah.
same thing with the Darkhold. Maybe it is. I think I remember hearing that somewhere, but point is that Victor Von Doom could be in Earth 616 and just dream walking Tony Stark's body. Somehow they end up finding a way to break Tony Stark out of it, or maybe they just sever the connection somehow, or maybe things happen where they defeat Tony Stark and the connection just severs, on its own, and then boom, that's how we get Tony Stark kind of just alive. But then would he still be alive? Because that would be like zombie Iron Man at that point or something.
Y- Yeah, no, that's true. Cause yeah,
Because he's dead. You know what I mean? Like
no, yeah,
he's gone. You know what I mean? It would be different like it was like a maybe he like or unless Victor Von
let
Doom
me
gets
hear it.
another variant of Tony Stark from another universe, time travels to this one, and then obviously just plays like I'm another multiverses Iron Man, blah blah. I'm here to help you
Mhm.
guys incursions, blah blah blah. So that way he can just dream walk into him, obviously, and then he'll still be that alive body, but then he wouldn't have like the same memories
No,
as
yeah, and
Tony and stuff like that. Yes, that was a little tricky.
like the theories are fun because like what I know what I was thinking too, which has no basis to it, was like that Doom that we saw in the after credits of Fantastic Four. Like, what if that was I guess like the same sense of dream walking. What if that was like not the real Doom,
Yeah,
and that was just that version of just a Doom or a Victor Von Doom that you know what I mean?
yeah,
And like maybe that's how he's going from like universe to universe. You know what I mean? Again, but that one has no basis to it.
right.
You know, but I mean I don't know. I mean I'm
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, this is the
I'm
fun part.
excited.
This is the fun. I think everybody
Yeah.
can agree. This is the fun part about Marvel, being a Marvel fan, being an MCU fan, being a comic fan.
No,
The
absolutely.
stuff that you get to just theorize and start to just head canon in your own head, whether it's true or not. You just kind of make your own head canon
No,
sometimes.
yeah, yeah.
You don't have to be accurate all the time. It's fun. This
I
is the
don't know.
fun part
I,
about just
I,
theorizing. Lots of time. I mean,
I
I don't
laugh.
remember a single time from a movie that we've
No.
had like a sick post credit scene and people haven't been theorizing. You know what I mean?
You might remember this too, and I laugh because we were doing the exact same thing what we're doing now before Thunderbolts,
Mm-hmm.
and I think I predicted the end credit scene in that moment, like
Yeah.
when I think we were calling that morning, we were
Mm-hmm.
anticipating, obviously going to see it that afternoon, and
Yeah.
I predicted it, and I just thought it was funny because like
Yeah. We
we
both looked at
looked at
each
each
other. We're
other,
like, oh my god. Yeah. Yeah,
so
that's
I
the
just thought
fun
that was
part about
funny,
it. You know what
but
I mean? Being right. Most of the
mm,
time, you probably aren't. But I mean, the times
yeah,
you are, man, it's like, oh my God, am I the
yeah.
Messiah?
You
Am
know,
I
like
Marvel
there's no harm
Jesus?
in that. It's
It's fun, dude. It's fun. At the end of the day, it's fun.
it's
That's
super
that's what
fun.
makes being a
Mhm,
fan of the MCU so fun. I'd even argue. I mean, obviously, there's no better feeling than going to a fan event, going on release day, and just the build up to a
mhm.
movie. But I would even
Yeah,
argue sometimes the kind of like the calming point, or like the point where everybody's done watching a movie and the fan theories start coming out. I'd argue that's even sometimes even more fun than the actual, like,
yeah,
it depends
absolutely,
on the movie,
absolutely.
how good it is. But it's so fun. I argue it's more fun than the build up to the movie, because you're theorizing with
Yeah,
fans, you're talking about it, you're giving spoilers, you're talking about what you think this meant, what that meant, what this couldn't have meant. You know what I mean? Things like
yeah,
that, and it's such a fun time to just talk and just be with your boys and talk about the Marvel universe
yeah,
like this, and which
and
is part of the reason we started this whole thing, just because we want to just talk
absolutely,
about it.
yeah, yeah. And I think it's fun too when you look back at like how wrong you were, but
Hmm.
it's fun too because it's like when you watch the context of like what you were witnessing, whether it's a teaser, whether it's just like a set photo, it's
Right.
like you know, you start making these theories. Like, for example, I know and this is a long time ago, honestly, like I wish DC would hurry up with this, but the Batman, when the first one came out, that first teaser, you just hear the tape. And I think you remember the trailer, the tape ripping, and then
Yes.
you see the like the next scene is somebody with his face, wrapped in tape, and people are, even me, I was like, oh my God, is it fucking Hush? Like, is it Hush? You know
Right.
what I mean? And then you go on thinking that, and then a trailer comes out and you see him grapple up, and you take like you pause and it's blurry, and you see people like with white on their face, and you think
Yeah.
it's the Court of Owls.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck, is it the Court of Owls? And then
Yeah.
obviously for me, this movie was like a 9.5 out of 10 for me.
Mm-hmm.
I love this Batman movie, but it's like, it didn't ruin the movie at all. But you find out that
Right.
it's the Riddler and the
Mm.
Penguin, and
Yeah. No,
but
that
it's fun
movie was
looking back, and you
fantastic.
and you yeah, and you think back, and it's like, oh my god, is it Hush? Is it Court of Owls? And you look
Mm.
back, and you're like, yeah, I could not have been more wrong. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
But that's the
But
fun part of it, like we're talking about. Like
yeah,
it's the fun
absolutely.
part of it. Even being wrong,
Hmm.
it's just like, all right, it's cool. Because sometimes, maybe sometimes the fan theories are even better than what the movie actually did. You know what I mean? Like for
No,
example,
yeah,
Quantumania.
yeah,
But I mean, it's the fun part about being a Marvel fan.
absolutely, yeah.
It's
I
just
agree.
those build ups, and obviously with this new technology and AI, it's a little hard now because a lot of the trailers are fan made trailers, or like fake trailers, or fake spoilers, or fake leaks and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And it sucks because it's like, damn, some of them look really good, but most of them you can, like, a guy has like 12 fingers or something. You can tell the way the face
Hmm.
moves and stuff like that. So it's a little tough now to tell what's real and what's not.
Hmm.
But what is real is we have a new Spider-Man Brand New Day potential set leak. Right?
Really?
We got video on Twitter. I'm not gonna name the user. I'm not gonna go too in depth into the video. It's not necessarily a spoiler. It doesn't really spoil anything. I guess kind of. Technically it does, but we already know that Sadie Sink got casted into Spider-Man Brand New Day. She's a
Right.
redhead. A lot of people were speculating that she's going to be playing MJ. Maybe another universe's MJ, or maybe the real MJ. Obviously, because this one is Michelle Watterson Jones. She's not technically MJ. Um, so the video is Spider-Man on top of a parking lot. There's two videos actually, but I'll go to the first one really quickly. There's a video of Spider-Man on the parking lot, on top of the
Hmm.
parking lot. Maybe after a fight, or maybe just after swinging, whatever. He lands on the parking lot, in the parking on the top, and he like just walks for a little bit, and then boom, out of nowhere he starts grabbing his head, and it looks like he's dazed and he's confused. It's almost like somebody's telepathically speaking to him.
Hmm.
So a lot of fans are speculating that this is obviously almost confirmation that Sadie Sink is going to be playing Jean Grey. Obviously Jean Grey is a telepathic,
Really?
yeah, and it's just, I mean, and then, which leads me to the second video. There's a video of Spider-Man on a truck, and the truck flips towards a wall, gets thrown towards a wall. Now, if this were,
Okay.
a lot of people were saying, well, this is probably just Hulk. This is now, I would agree with that if the video had green screen somewhere in the background, because obviously they have to edit the Hulk in there and some sort of things with
Yeah,
like
yeah,
the
yeah.
CGI and stuff like that. This would the car didn't blow up or anything. The car was just simply thrown almost telekinetically, which obviously wouldn't require that much green screen because it's just all that stuff is just CGI, just post edit things that they're probably gonna fix. So that is just
Right,
further
right.
further kind of just almost confirming the theories that fans are having. Like Sadie Sink is gonna be playing Jean Grey. There's no way that she's not. I mean, who knows, man? It'd be a great
Th-
casting choice. I wouldn't lie to you.
And sorry if I could ask, when did this take place? Like in terms of like part of the movie? Did they mention if it was going to
No,
be like after credits? Okay.
no, this was during the movie. Yeah, so
Uh,
I'm assuming this is gonna be
okay.
during the movie.
Like question, just because I'm just curious, and I haven't seen this at all. I
Mm-hmm.
haven't seen the set, like I haven't seen any of this. But what's it called? Uh, could it be maybe a part of the movie? Because I know Michael Mando is, reprising his role as the Scorpion. Could it have been like maybe the effects of him maybe getting stung, or after like a
Mm,
battle
mm.
with the
Haven't
Scorpion?
thought of that.
Because I'm thinking too, and honestly, because I replayed PS4 Spider-Man. I know that was something that happened.
Yeah,
I know that dazed, like kind of like holding his
sure.
head, kind
Yeah,
of like, you
yeah.
know what I mean? It could be, some poison getting
You're
to him.
cooking.
But
No,
then you
you're
said,
cooking,
but then you
brother.
said, but then I know you said Sadie Sink appears a little bit after, right?
No, no, no. She doesn't appear into the actual like the
Okay,
scenes or
okay,
anything
okay.
like that. Yeah. So
Gotcha, gotcha,
she's not
gotcha.
in any of the scenes at all, like
Okay,
involved or anything. Not even mentioned or uttered. It's just like I said, just
gotcha,
strictly
gotcha.
just fan theorizing. Like this
Okay,
this truck. Usually, when you see a truck flipping, you'll see like a bunch of like. Well, I mean, but then again,
could still be Scorpion.
it, it,
Again, I
it
haven't seen
could
it, but I
still be
mean,
Scorpion. It could be, and you made a great point with that. Yeah, you blew my mind with that one. Yeah, you're right. Because Scorpion in the game, he does when he injects him, he does kind of have like that like dazed effect, like that poisoned effect, right? Like he's grabbing
yeah,
himself and he's just like
yeah.
he's in pain. Um, Oh, you can see the video in your own time. I don't know if you want to look it up, but yeah,
I
it
just sent
does.
it to me because
He's
I don't
grabbing.
know
Yeah,
how
he's
to I don't
grabbing
know how to
his
find it.
head, right, and it's just like, and he looks around. That's the thing.
Mhm.
Like he looks around. He does a double take left and right. So that's what kind of leads me to believe like this has to be something, right? It's not just
Yeah.
nothing. It's got something to do with something. You know what I mean? Or I don't know. Or maybe who knows? Maybe oh wait, but they're not friends anymore. I forget that Ned isn't his friend anymore. He's not.
Oh, that he was affected too. That's right. That's
Yeah,
right.
unless maybe sometime in the movie, I'm Glorilla. Hang on. Sometimes, sometimes in the movie, maybe sometime in the movie, he goes back and maybe he befriends Ned again and does that whole homecoming thing again, where Ned finds out like,
Yeah.
wait, I could be your guy in the chair, and maybe
Hmm.
without knowing, Ned installs like a nice little earpiece into his suit or something, and then that's when he's like, what the hell?
That's
But that
right.
wouldn't explain the head grabbing either. You know what I mean? So it's like, I don't know. I'm just trying to justify it and trying to see other things.
I,
Again, I
I
like the Scorpion. I like the Scorpion kind of explanation. I like that. It makes sense.
yeah,
It
I think
makes the
that's where my
most
head.
sense.
That's where I went. That's where I went right away. But honestly, like, yeah, I mean, you can even go back and hear like the tone. But when you said City Sink as Jean Grey, I was like, oh wow,
Yeah.
you know, that's not bad.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all.
But the thing is like, why? Why would Sadie Sink be in this? Is it to help set up the Avengers versus X-Men fight that we'll be getting in Doomsday? But then that's gonna be after Doomsday. So well, no, it's gonna be before, no, right? Yeah, yeah, it's before. It's before
Yeah.
Doomsday. So I mean, is it maybe that to set that up? I don't see what position Jean Grey
That's
would play in the movie. You know what I mean?
that's my question too. Actually, was this movie was set to come out after Doomsday,
After
right?
Doomsday, yeah.
Wasn't that so like I'm wondering like did they have to change a lot to kind of fit that timeline? You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
like when you look at I think it was not No Way Home or which one came out after Endgame? Was it Far From Home?
No Way Home.
It was No Way Home.
Yeah.
Like that one came out after Endgame, and that one obviously it made sense. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like, can you imagine Endgame got delayed and came out after No Way Home? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like, what is going to be in this movie? You know what I mean? So I mean that
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know
On the
brings
same
up your
note,
point
though,
about Sadie Sink.
the thing that obviously, which is like a biggest concern about Doomsday right now, is like
Mm,
obviously the rewrites and the reshoots that are happening, and like they were
mhm,
writing it on the fly kind of thing. So
right.
it wasn't. It's not too concerning. It's more so concerning for Doomsday, not really concerning for Spider Man, because either way they were writing it as it went, from what I heard. So I
And I
don't
think
think it
that's what they want us
affected
to think,
brand new.
obviously,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, probably. You're not wrong, but
Because I mean that came out. A lot of the actors were saying that like they only got parts of the script and stuff like that. I think that was
yeah,
the
and
kind
then
of I
actors aren't
mean
even really shooting with other actors.
at the
Like
same time and
they're
stuff like
shooting with
that.
just like a green screen, and like yeah, it's a bit concerning. But again, I
Mm,
trust them. I trust them.
for
I'm
sure.
excited for it. I cannot wait. I just
Mhm.
I'm excited is an understatement, man. It's like an accumulation of like everything past Endgame. You know what I mean? Like we're
Yeah.
building towards Secret Wars this whole time, almost kind of thing. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah,
we've always
yeah, this movie sets up everything, and we say
Mhm.
that about every movie.
Yeah,
Like, let's be honest, we say that about every movie.
yeah.
You know, we said that about Fantastic Four setting up Doomsday. We said
Mhm.
Thunderbolt setting up, yeah. But this one literally just sets up like what's to come
Mhm.
after. You know?
Like literally the reset of the MCU. Like from what they're saying,
Yeah, that's what I'm
it could
saying.
either
Yeah.
be a soft reset or a hard reset. We'll talk a little bit about that
Mhm.
later because we do have a. Well, actually, I mean, I guess now is a great time to talk about it. I mean, which brings me to my next question here: should Marvel reboot after Secret Wars? Should it be a full
Mhm.
reboot, or do you think they should stick to a soft reboot where some of them get recasted and just like the main hard hitters stay, or do you think that it should be a full reboot?
Oh, like that was you asking me?
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm
No,
so
it's
sorry.
okay. It's okay.
I think man, it's a good quote because a full reboot would be great in the sense of like obviously it'll be new. You know, all these actors that a lot of us kind of dream casted
Yeah.
have the chance to now play that character that we knew that they would be great at.
Hmm.
Um, it would be you would see a lot of characters that we love in the comics be brought to life. You know what I mean? Rather than having, kind of copy that, well, let's start with Iron Man, let's start with Captain America, let's start with
Right.
Thor. You know what I mean? Um, I think I don't know too much, but I mean, in terms of want, I think I would want a full reboot. I think I would.
Okay.
What about you?
Realistically, if we're being honest, I would, yeah, I would like a full reboot because I mean, I think it's no breaking news here, but I mean, Marvel's been on like a decline and like a
Hmm.
then it's back
Hmm.
up, then it's back down, then it's back up, and it's just I think a lot of it's to do with the fan base. I think it's popular to hate Marvel at the moment. I
Yeah,
think that's like it's just hating things is a lot easier than loving things. You know what I mean? Loving things makes you vulnerable. Loving things puts you like in a
good
vulnerable
point.
position, and then hating things is just it's just
That's a good
easy. You
point.
go with the crowd. You know what I mean? You're kind
Yeah.
of just going with what everybody is saying, and everybody just agrees without even really either giving the movie a chance or just they see one review on TikTok that they just semi agree with, and they go with that, and then they make that their
Hmm.
whole thing involving the movie. A lot of the people, which is a lot of the reason why these movies are doing so bad at in the box office. Not that Fantastic Four did
Hmm.
bad, but comparatively speaking to what we used to do in numbers, I mean it's a significant drop from what numbers used to be for the
Hmm.
Marvel Cinematic Universe, and so it's just I think it'd be a good thing for Marvel to kind of just take a step back and reboot
Right.
and stop hanging on to I guess to the big names and start to give fans a little more I guess respect when it comes to fan
Hmm.
casting because some fan castings have been fire, man. I mean, for
Yeah.
example, the guy that's set to play Black Panther, what's his name?
Oh, from Snowfall, right?
I forget his
Snow.
name, but it's like it's like
It's
Idris,
Idris something.
yeah,
Let me
Idra,
see.
yeah, but that kid, I mean that was a fan cast originally, and it was unbelievable. I mean, people and
Damson Idris.
there you go,
Damson Idris.
Damson Idris, like that guy. I mean, and then
Phenomenal actor.
obviously, yeah,
Phenomenal.
and then it almost kind of like confirmed that he's gonna be coming out soon. With well, I mean, again, maybe not confirmed, but kind of just
Hmm.
further kind of reinforced it because I'm not sure if you remember. Did you get to see the Doomsday concept art or Secret Wars concept art like when it was coming out?
Uh,
It's a photo of like Dupe that
mm,
came out of like the New Avengers and stuff like that, and then
was
there's a
it during like
photo of
a like an
Sheriff
event?
Strange.
Like it was like an event, and they like accidentally leaked what he was supposed
Mm,
to look like.
I don't think no. I think it was just like one of the people that have like leaked concept art before, and he has like a whole
Mm,
website about it as well. Like he ended up
no,
like
no,
just
no.
posting it, I think on accident. I'm not sure it was on purpose. I don't know. The point is that those photos made their way to the internet somehow. Basically, it was Sheriff Strange, next to obviously God Emperor Doom on the throne. I'm assuming it's gonna be in Battle World, and you see Valeria and Franklin, and then you see what looks like Pedro Pascal kneeling at his feet. um, so I mean, it was very like almost like medieval, and then you see Sue Storm right there, or I guess Sue Von Doom in this instance, right next to Victor Von Doom, like sitting next to like the throne. It's such a cool photo, and then there was a photo of like New Avengers. It had I believe it was Speed, it was Miss Marvel, Kate Bishop, then Dupe was in there, Wiccan, and then I think it was I don't think Wiccan was in there. I don't think so. But I think those were the five that I remember. There might have been one or two more,
Mm,
but but yeah,
I'm seeing
those
some of them
photos
right now.
set leaks. Yeah. Oh, you're seeing them? Yeah. So and
Some
then
of
there
them,
was
yeah.
another one that leaked of Idris. What was his name again? Idris
Damson Idris. Damson Idris.
Damson Idris in the Black Panther mantle, and he looked
Mm,
phenomenal, man. I was like, oh my god! And obviously he has to just know that Wakandan accent, which, I mean, I'm excited to hear it. You know what I mean? It's I haven't heard. I'll be honest. I haven't seen a lot of this guy's work. I don't even know what his voice sounds like. Is he a deeper tone? Is he? Because Chadwick Boseman had like a little higher pitched. You know what I mean? And I like that about him.
yeah.
Every time I read a Black Panther
Well,
comic, I'm always picturing, um, Chadwick.
yeah. Well, I'll be honest. He's a British actor. So I
Okay.
mean, everything that I've seen from British actors, they've always been phenomenal.
Yeah.
And everything that they come out with, they for some reason they nail that American accent.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I
Yeah,
mean,
without a doubt, he can know that
like
Wakanda
in terms
accent.
of range, like Robert Pattinson.
Yeah.
I mean, that man has played every single freaking like character you could think of,
Yeah.
and he's always nailed accents. I mean,
True.
that just goes with the training and stuff like that. Damn Idris, from what I've seen, great. He would be great. He would kill it.
Yeah,
He would kill that freaking character for sure.
100%. Yeah, yeah. He's such a great fan cast choice. It's unbelievable. But yeah, it brings me back to my point. Like, I mean, I think that Marvel could benefit from this a lot.
Mhm.
But on the same note, I can see why people are a little scared for for a reboot, just because if they get rid of like the big names like Chris Hemsworth, like they get rid of
Yeah.
obviously Benedict as Stephen Strange and you know all these big names and A-list actors, you know, they get rid of them and you know, is it gonna sell as much? Is it gonna attract as much? You know what I mean? Maybe people are gonna be piqued in the beginning. It's gonna pique their
Mhm.
interest, obviously, but will it be enough to make MCU great again? You know what I mean? And obviously with the rumors going on about either going to be focusing on Mister Sinister or Sinister or Apocalypse coming after, which I
Mhm.
think they're probably going to go the Sinister route because they already did Apocalypse. Again, that was in the X-Men franchise though, so I mean maybe they could
Yeah.
pull it off. And granted, it wasn't that great. Age of Apocalypse was okay. I mean, it
Yeah, it
was,
was all right.
yeah. I mean, I really like Psylocke in that movie. She was amazing.
That's
Um,
good.
but yeah, I mean, I think they could benefit from this a lot, and I think it should be the way to go. Which I mean, obviously, we spoke about them bringing A-list actors back, and there's already a rumor going around about Hugh Jackman rumored to play Wolverine even after the
Mhm.
reboot. So it's like I don't know, man. Like it's just like Hugh Jackman is great. He's a fantastic Wolverine. I just
Yeah.
I think that we need to start or stop hard locking people into these
Yeah.
roles. We like I think Thor's I think he's replaceable. You know what I mean? I think he's recastable, no problem. I
Yeah.
think I will say that I think Stephen Strange Benedict was Benedict Cumberbatch, right? Was his name?
Yeah. Yeah. Benedict
Yeah,
Cumberbatch.
yeah, he's an amazing Stephen Strange. Which isn't talked
Yeah.
about enough in my opinion. That I think that he is like just like Robert Downey Jr. in the Iron Man. Like he has played Stephen Strange phenomenally. Like he
Hmm.
has that wizardy feel to him. It's weird. Like it's like
Yeah.
same thing like with Ian. Ian, the one that played Gandalf, the one that plays Magneto. Like they have
Mm,
that feel of like that, just like that grand, almost regal, almost just
yeah.
like they feel like they're that powerful, you know.
Yeah.
Gandalf,
Patrick
Ian,
Stewart,
yeah, Patrick Stewart, exactly. Like those are characters
Charles
that
Xavier.
you
Yeah.
can feel with it. But I think Magneto's recastable. I think he's
Yeah.
recastable, obviously, and then obviously it sucks because Ian is he's old, man. He's up there.
He is.
So I
Yeah. No.
mean,
He's. Yeah.
and you know,
Yeah.
obviously, we got to start thinking about the longevity with the MCU if we want to reboot. You know what I mean? Like, we can't just keep casting the same people, and then, especially with the gaps between movies, you know,
Yeah.
it's unrealistic at some point. Which is why I like Damsa as Black Panther because he's still young and he's still got it in
Mhm.
him. You know, we can get a few years out of him. We can lock him into the
For
Disney
sure.
contracts. You know,
No. Yeah. Yeah. That's
we
true.
can lock him in. Same thing with Chris Hemsworth. You know, he's starting to get a little old. You know what I mean? Obviously Benedict Cumberbatch and Robert Downey Jr. I can't believe how much older he looks. Obviously part to do with that gray hair look that he has going on. But
Hmm.
yeah, man. I mean, I think I don't like Hugh Jackman being rumored to play Wolverine again after the reboot. I don't know. Like, what do would you like that? Is that something you're interested
No.
in?
I mean, like biased opinion. Like obviously, I would love to see Hugh play Wolverine as much as you can. You know, if it makes sense. You know, I think what they're doing right now is honestly a perfect ending. You know, again, if you know it doesn't go through with him playing Wolverine after the reboot, would be a perfect ending. I
Yeah.
think bringing him back into into Marvel, into the MCU. You know, introducing him to into the MCU. This would be the most perfect ending for him. You know, obviously we fell in love with him in the the Fox franchise of X-Men. You know, now we're seeing our living dream come to life. You know, him in the MCU being side by side by some of the characters that we also fell in love with.
Right.
Um, but to answer your question, it's gonna sound bad. I would love to see Hugh Jackman's Wolverine be put to rest after this.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I think we felt the same thing with Iron Man. I mean, Robert Downey Jr. felt the same way about his Iron Man. You know, I think he even said on a podcast. You know, I think his time was just done. You know, which is why after Endgame, you you saw a lot of the actors kind of take a step back. Chris Evans with Captain America, he felt like, Captain America did what he needed to do within that, those, was it those arcs? No, what was
Right.
it? Those phases,
Yeah.
you know? So he felt like his story was done. Iron Man's story, like, so same thing with, Wolverine. Um, so yeah, I mean, I would love to see someone else get a shot at this, you know.
Yeah.
There's it's not impossible. A lot of these characters and actors, they do feel like one of ones, you know. Like Robert Downey Jr. basically embodied who Tony Stark was, you know.
Yeah.
But I mean, that doesn't mean someone else can't, like how
Could he, man? Yeah,
we yeah. I mean, we even saw it in Deadpool Wolverine, when that little cameo of oh my God, what was his name? Um, Henry Cavill playing
Oh yeah.
Wolverine. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that looked great. That looked really good.
Yeah.
I don't know what you thought about that, but that looked like a really good Wolverine. You
Yeah.
know?
No, he did. He did. He looked great. Again, it's just a matter of I think it'd be nice to get a change of like
Yeah,
maybe we get like a height. You know what I mean? The actual height of Wolverine. Maybe somebody shorter.
yeah.
Like which leads me into my next
Is
question.
this is you putting your chips in here? Is this you
Oh,
making the?
come on, gas me up, man. I'm 46, brother. I'm up there. I'm here.
But what were you gonna say?
So would that be your fan cat? Would Henry Cavill be your like your choice of X-Men if you had to choose your fan cast for X-Men? I think, and I feel like I have a
I
feeling you're really gonna like mine because I know you had a huge, and this is honestly this has been more popular. I saw this on TikTok,
hmm,
and I just started looking into them, and I was like, oh my god, like this, yes, the um Jack O'Connell, the guy from Sinners.
Jack O'Connell. Yes,
Yes, him.
yes.
He's
That
five
would
eight. Now
be
he's a little, he's still not as tall. He's still on the shorter side, I guess, when it comes to men. But he's, a lot more to
that
work
would be
with. You know what I
great.
mean? And him
I
as
like that.
Wolverine, would
I
be
like that.
awesome. I saw some fan edits of him in like the suit, him talking like him a little bit, and him with the hair, and just
I like it.
he already has that almost like feral look to him that I feel like he could
Yes.
just tap
Yeah, I like
into,
it.
which is going to be really hard because Hugh Jackman, obviously let's give Hugh Jackman his flowers. That man has been
Yeah.
phenomenal as Wolverine. I mean, it's
Yeah.
uh, perfect, perfect man, unbelievable performance as Wolverine, and that man is unbelievable, unbelievable. I love his primal, just the yells and just the anger that he puts into when he's playing Wolverine and that
Yeah.
feralness. And I
Like
love that we
that
got to
scream
see,
is a
yes, that
growl,
feral just yes, that I loved it, especially in Deadpool Wolverine when we finally get to see him use that
Oh
feral side
man.
when he was like going on all fours towards Deadpool during that fight scene. Oh my god, it was so awesome,
Phenomenal.
such a
That was
freaking
yeah.
awesome. Me and my girlfriend saw that one and went on the fan event. It was oh my
Mhm.
god, it was so fun. But yeah, we really love that movie, and we really love Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. But like we said, let's give somebody else a chance to shine now,
I like
especially with
that.
this MCU movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jack O'Connell, I think, would be my number one fan cast, and if I were to have to recast, um, you know, Wolverine.
No, that's a great one. And yeah, like, would Henry Cavill be my number one? I mean, he's definitely up there.
Yeah,
Especially after I saw what he looked like. Like there's no way you can like see that and be like, okay, like it doesn't fit. There's no way you can say that, because it does.
yeah.
Like like with all due respect, yes, many of you guys can say pause after I say this, but his body looked great.
Oh no.
Henry Cavill's body
Absolutely,
is just
absolutely.
that man is ripped to the bones.
Mm-hmm.
He played Superman for like a good amount of years. So I mean, that I think that and you might know more, obviously about Marvel in general, but I feel like Wolverine kind of has that aged look just because he's been alive for so much longer. And
Yeah,
I think Henry Cavill being his age, I think he's like mid 40s around. Like, I just think that's
yeah,
like a peak look, a peak appearance, for Wolverine.
yeah,
Um, but obviously we didn't see much. We just saw the looks. And
yes,
if we're going based off looks, he looked great. He
yeah.
looked great.
He did, and he had that just bulkiness to him, man, and that kind of
Yeah.
growl on when he was talking.
Yeah.
Did he say Bob in that scene, by the way, or no? It would have
I
been so cool if he said Bob. I can't remember if he said Bob.
I I
I think I
I
know. I
don't
know he just
remember
turned around slowly with a cigar in his mouth, and he like did the
the
Mission Impossible
the
reload
reload,
thing,
right? The
dude. That was
reload, right?
so
Yeah,
cool, dude. That was so cool. And then he did. I think he was just like, "We're just leaving" or something, dude. It was
yeah,
so cool.
yeah.
That was so
No,
cool.
dude.
On the topic
Ah,
of fan casts, right, and on the
mm,
topic of like who you would cast, I
mm,
have, which is maybe just bear with me here. Okay,
yeah,
you've seen The Boys, correct?
yeah. There's no wrong
Right,
answers.
right.
There's no
The
wrong
Boys.
answers.
The Deep actor, Chase Crawford. Just look up Chase Crawford. Okay. Now I want you to
Okay.
envision that man in the
Okay.
X-Men '97 suit, Cyclops.
Hmm. Scott Summers, he
As
has the
Scott
look.
Summer. Does he not, man? I don't know. When I
He
saw
has the
him, dude, and
look.
I started doing like the fan cast on my own, I was like, of course he's like a goofy character in the
Yeah,
boys and stuff like that. And he's like, but he has a serious side to him, dude. You can see it. He
yeah.
has almost that leadership look that I feel like would be like almost like young leader kind of look that would be awesome.
Mhm.
Again, I think he's on a high, what he's like 38, 39 or something. How old is he? I don't know how old he is, but
He's 40.
40. Man, yeah. So I mean, again, it'd be a little contradictory to what I said, like, casting little younger actors, but
Mhm.
he's still got some years in him. We still got some years to pump out of the kid. But yeah, I
Yeah,
really think that him as Scott Summers would be pretty cool, dude.
I do like
I
it.
would, yeah,
I do
I
like
would
it.
really like. He'd be awesome. I don't know, that for me, like when I saw his face and like and then I looked further into like his photos and I was like, that he has that look, especially when he's like modeling and stuff like that, or like when he's posing for photos, where like
I've
I
seen those
just
are the ones I was like
imagine.
specifically looking at.
Yeah, and like where I just kind of like envision him in like the visor that Cyclops has, and I was like, man, like
Mhm.
he'd be an awesome. And I envision him in a suit. He'd be so awesome as Scott
Oh, yeah.
Summers. But yeah,
Oh, yeah, that's a
that
good
would be
one.
my fan cast. Do you have any fan cast yourself that you think would be pretty cool?
I'm trying to think if I've seen any recently. I know there's one, but it's not Marvel. But I mean,
Right.
it would be same thing with the boys. Jack Quaid,
Mm-hmm.
the one that obviously he plays Huey, right? Huey
Yeah. Yeah.
as Barry Allen as the Flash. I mean, to me, that's just perfect because Huey's character kind of is what the Flash is. He's kind of like quirky. He's kind of like a nerd. You know what I mean? And that's who Barry Allen is. And I mean, I don't know what his age is.
Mm-hmm.
Jack Quaid might be getting up there also, but I mean, same thing. He's also a scrawny guy.
Yeah.
You know. And that's who the Flash is. The Flash is not known to be, and actually in some comics, yeah, you can see that he's
Right.
kind of ripped. But I mean, he's just
He
like
could
a
get ripped though.
fair,
He could get ripped
yeah,
for
for
sure.
sure. I mean, we've seen it. We've seen it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there was a freaking in the Eternals, that one actor. What was his name? He just played like a side character. Next thing you know, he's in a Marvel movie and he's freaking 8-pack. You know, that's my fan cast.
Yeah.
That would be the DC for Marvel. Oh my god, off the top of my head, I don't have one.
Yeah. It's hard, man, because yeah, it could be, like I said, I think that for me was like my number one fan cast, and obviously we know like the Batman fan cast going around as well
Oh
with
man.
Jensen Ackles, and I also heard something today where I read a post on Twitter that apparently the DCU Batman has already been shown, but people didn't really talk about it a lot in Creature Commandos.
Oh, I'm trying to
Apparently,
think.
there's like a frame of in Creature
Hold on.
Commandos or like a
I
still. I
did
don't know
watch
what it
that.
was, but apparently like that Batman was already like revealed. Maybe
That's
maybe wrong.
right.
Was it
That's
in there?
right. It's a silhouette. It's a silhouette. It
Right.
doesn't really give you much.
Okay.
It's a silhouette, and you see, honestly, you just see the utility belt and then his eyes,
Okay.
like in terms of color.
Yeah.
But his silhouette just shows the cape. You can pull it up and you see it.
Yeah.
But I think they purposely didn't want to give too much detail on the
Mm-hmm.
suit because I think that's still up in
Cause
the
that's
air.
canon to the DCU, right? From what I
Creature Commandos
heard.
is canon, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything like that has, I mean, obviously things can change, but anything DC related, whether it's animated, that's all James Gunn's doing, and that
Right.
is canon to what's going on. Like all that is tied in.
Yeah. I can't wait, man.
Phenomenal show, by the
I
way.
can't wait to see
Hell of a
where
show.
James Gunn goes with the DCU.
Yeah,
Obviously, I'm not a huge DC fan. I'm not to say that I like a hater or anything like that. There's just I just
yeah.
never really been drawn towards DC. I've been always
Mm-hmm.
kind of drawn towards Marvel and like indie projects like indie comics and
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that. But I can't wait to see where James Gunn takes this. And but yeah, man, that's an hour for us. That's gonna do it for
Yeah,
the
that's gonna
616
do it.
podcast. Appreciate you guys for listening. It's been a blast, and you
Mhm.
guys for hearing us yap this whole time for an hour. Rob, any final thoughts?
No, I just kind of like you said, like thanks again for just hearing us, just talk about all these things. Obviously, these are things that we find passionate, that we love, and I'm sure you guys feel the same way. So hopefully, you guys can kind of just share these, little memories, these little moments with us, and because I don't know about you, Lex, I don't want to stop doing this.
No, no,
This is
I
fun.
don't.
I
It
don't want
is
to stop
fun.
doing this.
I like brainstorming. I like doing the rough drafts with you. It's been fun, man. I think we're gonna do it for a while. And again, we're not expecting anything to come from this. We're doing it strictly at a
No.
passion project. We're not trying to be somebody we're not. We're simply just being ourselves, and
Yeah.
we're just talking about
Yeah.
the things we love. So hope you guys
Yeah.
enjoy
I
hearing
mean,
us talk again. And thank you guys so much for listening. And we'll see you
yeah.
guys on the next one.
All right. Bye, guys.
Later.